Lieutenant Yoon Ji-hee checked her stealth fighter systems one more time. The small ship was painted black and designed to be invisible to most sensors. She was Earth's best reconnaissance pilot. Today, she would fly closer to the alien monitoring station than any human had ever been. Control. This is Ghost 1. All systems green. She spoke into her helmet microphone. Copy Ghost 1, remember observe only. Do not engage, came the reply from Earth Command. Ji-hee smiled grimly. She had no intention of fighting today, but she planned to learn everything she could about these aliens who thought humans were harmless. At the research facility on Earth, Dr. Nam Seokjin studied the small alien device they had secretly taken during first contact. It was no bigger than his thumb, but the technology inside was incredible. The device seemed to bend space around itself. Fascinating, he muttered to himself. They use quantum field manipulation for basic communication. His assistant, Kang Min-seo, looked up from her computer. Doctor, I've finished analyzing their ship designs from the visual records. What did you find? They're built for intimidation, not combat, Min-seo said. Look at these energy signatures. Most of their power goes to shields and appearance. Their actual weapons are designed to destroy primitive technology, not fight equals. Dr. Nam nodded thoughtfully, just like their entire approach. They've never needed to fight a real war. Meanwhile, in the war room beneath Earth Command, Special Operations Commander Oh Dong-wook studied battle plans with his team. The walls were covered with screens showing alien ship movements and human defense positions. Sir, we've identified a pattern, said one of his officers. The aliens established their monitoring stations the same way every time. Same distance from the planet, same orbital pattern, same defensive arrangement. Dong-wook frowned. They use the exact same strategy every time. Yes, sir. According to our analysis of Galactic Council records, they've used identical tactics for over 1,000 years. That's not tactics, Dong-wook said quietly. That's routine. In space, Lieutenant Ji-hee's fighter approached the alien station. It was enormous, the size of a small moon. Energy fields surrounded it like glowing webs. She activated her recording systems and began her careful approach. Control, I'm seeing something interesting, she whispered into her microphone. This isn't just a monitoring station. Explain, Ghost One. I count at least 50 heavy weapon platforms hidden behind energy barriers. This is a military base, not an observation post. Through her fighter's sensors, Ji-hee watched alien ships moving in precise formations. Everything they did followed exact patterns. No variation, no improvisation, no creativity. Back on Earth, Dr. Nam made a breakthrough with the alien device. Min-seo, look at this. Their communication system has no encryption. None at all. They've never needed it. In a peaceful empire where everyone obeys, why would you hide information? Nam's eyes were bright with excitement. We can listen to everything they say. Tactical analyst Kang Min-seo brought up her latest report on the main screen. Commander Dong-wook, I've been studying their invasion records. Every time they conquer a new world, they follow the same process. Show me. First, they demonstrate superior technology. Second, they offer peaceful integration. Third, they give the target species 30 days to surrender. Fourth, they attack with overwhelming force. Dong-wook studied the pattern. What happens during those 30 days? The target species usually panics and surrenders. If they don't, the aliens destroy all military forces in exactly 6 hours. 6 hours? Every time? Every single time, sir. They've perfected the process. Dong-wook felt a chill run down his spine. Min-seo, when did they establish their monitoring station? 3 days ago, sir. So we have 27 days left. Actually, sir, Min-seo said quietly, if the pattern holds, they're lying about the 30 days. What do you mean? I cross-referenced their monitoring station activities with historical invasion data. They always attack 10 days after establishing the station, not 30. Lieutenant Ji-hee's discovery confirmed their worst fears. Through her sensors, she watched the aliens loading weapons and preparing ships for battle. Control, they're not planning to wait 30 days, she reported. I'm seeing active war preparations, battle formations, weapon charging, troop movements. How long do we really have, Ghost One? Based on their current preparations, I estimate 7 days maximum. Dr. Nam's communication intercepts provided the final piece of the puzzle. The alien messages were in a simple format that his computers could decode quickly. Min-seo, listen to this, he said, playing back an alien conversation. They're discussing human primitive weapons and expected resistance duration of 4 hours maximum. 4 hours? They think they can conquer Earth in 4 hours? It gets worse. They're only bringing a fraction of their fleet. This isn't even considered a real battle to them. Back in space, Ji-hee continued observing the alien base. She watched their ships move in perfect formations, following predetermined routes with no deviation. Every action was planned and predictable. They fight like machines, she realized. Everything follows a program. Commander Dongwook assembled his staff for an emergency meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 7 days to prepare for invasion, not 30. The aliens expect to destroy our military in 6 hours. They've never faced real resistance. Sir, what's our plan? Asked one of his officers. We're going to teach them about human warfare. Dr. Nam entered the war room carrying a datapad full of intelligence. Commander, I've been analyzing their tactics for the past 1,000 years. They've never adapted their strategy once. Explain. Every species they've conquered has fought the same way. Big ships shooting at big ships until one side surrenders. They've never encountered guerrilla warfare, asymmetric tactics, or strategic deception. Dongwook smiled for the first time in days. They've never fought humans. Exactly. They think warfare is about having better technology. They don't understand that war is about thinking. Lieutenant Ji-hye's final report came in as the sun set over Earth Command. Control, I've mapped their entire base. Security patterns, weapon positions, command structure. They're powerful but completely predictable. Good work, Ghost One. Return to base. Sir, there's one more thing. I intercepted their battle plans, and they're not even planning to invade Earth. They're going to destroy our space forces and wait for us to surrender. They think once our ships are gone, we'll give up. Commander Dongwook looked around the war room at his team. They don't know about human history, do they? Dr. Nam shook his head. They've studied our technology and our government structure, but they've never researched our wars. Then they don't know that humans have never given up a fight in their entire history. No, sir. They think we're like every other species they've conquered. Dongwook activated the main communication system. All stations, this is Earth Command. Begin operation, wake-up call. It's time to show our guests what human warfare really looks like. The alien monitoring station continued its predictable orbit, unaware that Lieutenant Ji-hye had learned all their secrets. They still believed they were facing primitive creatures with simple weapons. They had no idea that humans had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war. Every battle Earth had ever fought had taught humanity something new about conflict. The aliens had superior technology and overwhelming numbers. But they had never learned the most important lesson of warfare. It's not the size of the army that matters. It's the intelligence of the soldiers. Humanity was about to give them their first real education in military science. The alien invasion fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 50 massive warships arranged themselves in perfect formation, just as they had done 1,000 times before on 1,000 different worlds. Council Prime Veltar stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching Earth grow larger on the view screen. Begin standard pacification protocol, he ordered. Colonel An Haiwan watched the alien fleet approach from her command bunker on Earth's moon. Her Marines were hidden in tunnels and caves across the lunar surface. All units maintain radio silence. Wait for my signal. The aliens expected to find human forces defending Earth directly. Instead, they found empty space. Prime, our sensors detect no significant human military presence, reported the tactical officer. Where are their ships? Unknown, Prime. We detect only civilian vessels and a few small patrol craft. Veltar frowned. Are they hiding? Scans show no major military installations, Prime. It appears they have surrendered without fighting. Captain Ryu Sungmin smiled grimly from inside his cloaked fighter. His squadron hung motionless in the asteroid belt, invisible to alien sensors. Around him, hundreds of other human fighters waited in perfect silence. Control, this is Wolf Leader. Alien fleet is maintaining predicted formation. They have no idea we're here. The alien fleet moved deeper into the solar system, following their standard invasion pattern. They had used the same approach for centuries. It had never failed. Engineering Commander Baek Jinhwan activated the first surprise. Across the solar system, what looked like asteroids suddenly revealed themselves as massive weapon platforms. Fire, he whispered into his microphone. Thousands of kinetic projectiles launched from hidden positions. Simple metal rods accelerated to incredible speeds by electromagnetic launchers. No energy signatures to detect, no warning of incoming attack. The alien shields designed to stop energy weapons offered no protection against solid matter traveling at 40 kilometers per second. Prime. "We're under attack!" screamed the tactical officer. "Multiple impacts across the fleet. Impossible. Where are the weapons coming from?" "Everywhere, Prime." "The asteroids." "They're weapon platforms." 3 alien ships suffered critical damage in the first 30 seconds. "Their shields failed, their hulls breached, their perfect formation disrupted. Return fire. Destroy those asteroids." The alien ships turned their energy weapons on the hidden platforms. Brilliant beams of plasma lanced out across space, destroying several human weapons. But for every platform they destroyed, 10 more revealed themselves. Colonel An Haiwan chose that moment to spring her trap. All units begin Operation Surprise Party. Across the lunar surface, hidden bunkers opened. Thousands of missiles launched simultaneously from concealed positions. The missiles were primitive by alien standards, but there were so many of them that they blocked out the stars. Prime. Massive missile launch from the moon. Incoming projectiles number in the thousands. Destroy them with point defense. But the human missiles were not following predictable paths. They weaved and dodged, changed directions randomly, split into multiple warheads. The alien point defense systems, programmed to stop conventional weapons, could not track the chaotic movements. Captain Ryu Sungmin saw his moment. "All fighters attack pattern Delta. Remember, aim for their engine clusters." 200 human fighters decloaked simultaneously. They emerged from asteroid fields, from behind the moon, from the shadow of Mars itself. Each fighter was small and fast, nearly invisible to alien sensors. Prime. Small attack craft approaching from multiple vectors. How many? Unknown. They're too small and fast for accurate count. The human fighters swarmed the alien fleet like angry hornets. Their weapons were simple kinetic guns, but they aimed for specific weak points. Engine exhausts, sensor arrays, weapon mounts. They're targeting our critical systems, the tactical officer reported. How do they know our ship design so well? Veltar watched in horror as human fighters performed maneuvers his pilots had never seen. They used the alien ships themselves as cover, hiding behind one vessel while attacking another. They cooperated in complex patterns without any apparent communication. Prime, we're losing ships faster than we can count. But the humans were losing fighters too. Alien energy weapons destroyed dozens of the small craft. The difference was that humans had expected casualties. Wolf 3 is down, Ryu Sungmin reported calmly. Wolf 7, take his position. Continue attack pattern. Sir, shouldn't we retreat? Asked one of his pilots. Negative. Mission comes first. Individual survival is secondary. This concept was alien to the galactic military. Their doctrine emphasized preserving valuable ships and trained crews. They retreated when losses became significant. Humans did the opposite. They accepted losses as part of victory. Medical Corps Director Song Yura watched the battle from Earth's primary medical facility. Her teams were ready to treat both human and alien wounded. Director, we're receiving distress signals from damaged alien ships, reported a medic. Prepare rescue shuttles. Save everyone you can. But Director, they're the enemy. They're wounded beings who need help. That's all that matters. Human rescue ships launched toward the damaged alien vessels. This confused the aliens even more than the military tactics. Prime, the humans are rescuing our wounded? What? Human medical ships are approaching our damaged vessels. They're offering medical assistance. Veltar could not comprehend this behavior. Are they trying to capture our crews? No, Prime. They're treating our wounded and returning them to functional ships. This act of mercy in the middle of battle shocked the alien fleet more than any weapon could. Have Engineering Commander Baek Jinwan revealed the final surprise. Hidden deep in Earth's oceans, massive magnetic launchers had been built decades earlier. Admiral oceanic platforms ready to fire. Target their command ship. One-shot maximum power. The ocean surface exploded upward as a projectile the size of a building launched from beneath the waves. The railgun accelerated the mass to a significant fraction of light speed. Veltar had just enough time to see the impossible projectile approaching before it struck his flagship. The kinetic energy was beyond anything in galactic weapons technology. Abandoned ship, he screamed as his vessel broke apart around him. But even as his ship died, Veltar noticed something strange. The human attack had targeted his engines and weapons, not his life support or escape pods. They're trying to disable us, not kill us, he realized. Human rescue ships immediately moved toward the escape pods. pulling alien survivors from the wreckage. Colonel An Haiwan coordinated the final phase of the battle. All units, enemy fleet is broken. Begin herding maneuver. The remaining alien ships found themselves surrounded by human forces, not destroyed but trapped. Every escape route was blocked by fighters, missiles, or hidden weapon platforms. Prime came a transmission from one of the surviving alien ships. We request permission to surrender. Surrender? We don't surrender! Prime, we have no choice. They have outmaneuvered us completely. Captain Ryu Sungmin opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. Council ships, this is Human Defense Command. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. Any hostile action will result in immediate destruction. You're taking prisoners? Veltar asked from his escape pod. We're accepting your surrender, Ryu replied. All alien personnel will be treated according to human military code. Your wounded will receive medical care. Your dead will be honored. This was beyond alien understanding. In galactic warfare, surrender meant death or slavery. The humans offered mercy and dignity. Why? Veltar asked. Why treat enemies with honor? Because, Captain Ryu said simply, that's what separates us from monsters. The battle was over. In 6 hours, the human defense forces had destroyed or captured an entire alien invasion fleet. They had used tactics, strategies, and weapons the aliens had never encountered. But most importantly, they had shown that true strength came not from the ability to destroy, but from the wisdom to show mercy when victory was achieved. The aliens had learned their first lesson about human warfare. Humans fight not just to win, but to protect what they believe is right, even if that meant protecting their enemies. Admiral Huang Garam stood in the war room deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. Around him, dozens of screens showed human military forces across the globe preparing for battle. Ships, aircraft, ground units, and space platforms all moved into position. Admiral, all defense networks are online, reported his aide. Operation. Nightmare Protocol is ready to begin. Excellent. Begin Phase 1. Commander Lee Hana activated her psychological warfare systems from a hidden base in the mountains of Korea. Her job was to make the aliens understand exactly what they were facing. Sir, I'm broadcasting on all alien communication. Frequencies, she reported to Admiral Huang. They're about to learn about human culture, the alien monitoring. Station received thousands of data streams from Earth, videos, movies, books, games, and historical records flooded their communication systems. On the alien base, Council Prime Veltar watched the incoming data with growing confusion. What are these humans sending us? His aide studied the information. It appears to be their entertainment and educational materials, Prime. Show me. The first video was a human war movie. On screen, soldiers fought desperately against impossible odds. They used clever tactics, improvised weapons, and refused to surrender even when facing certain death. Curious, Veltar said. Their entertainment glorifies warfare. The next file was a documentary about human military history. It showed thousands of years of constant conflict. Humans fighting with sticks and stones, then metal weapons, then explosives, then nuclear weapons. Prime, these humans have been at war with each other for their entire history. The aide said nervously. Impossible. No species could survive constant warfare. More files streamed in. Video games where human players commanded massive armies across multiple planets. Strategy guides that explained how to fight in space, underwater, underground, and in environments the aliens had never imagined. One file showed human children playing war games in their schools. Young humans learning to think tactically before they could even walk properly. Prime, the aide whispered. Every human appears to be trained for warfare from birth. Veltar's large eyes studied the data streams. These are just primitive entertainments. Send me their actual military information. But the military files were even more disturbing. Human armies had detailed plans for fighting in every possible situation. Desert warfare, Arctic warfare, urban warfare, space warfare, underwater warfare. They have strategies for fighting on planets we've never heard of, the aide said. Show me their weapons specifications. The weapons files made Veltar pause. Humans didn't just have guns and rockets. They had thousands of different weapon types, each designed for specific situations. Weapons for fighting in space, weapons for fighting underground, weapons for fighting in acid rain. Prime, they have weapons designed to fight creatures that don't exist. What do you mean? They have strategies for fighting giant insects, energy beings, artificial intelligence, and Prime, they have detailed plans for fighting species exactly like us. On Earth, Fighter Squadron leader Shin Woo-jin prepared his pilots for the coming battle. His squadron was small compared to the alien fleet, but each pilot had trained for years in space combat. Listen up, he told his team. The aliens think we're primitive because we use kinetic weapons. They don't understand that kinetic weapons work better in space than energy weapons. How so, sir? Asked one pilot. Energy weapons need time to charge and can be blocked by shields. A metal bullet travels at 10 kilometers per second and doesn't care about energy barriers. Intelligence Director Young Ariam briefed Admiral Huang on the alien response to their cultural broadcast. Sir, they're definitely rattled. We're intercepting conversations between their ships. They're starting to question their invasion plans. What are they saying? Quote, how did these primitives develop strategies for fighting us before they knew we existed? End quote. Admiral Huang smiled. Because humans have always assumed that someday we'd meet something bigger and nastier than ourselves. Commander Lee Hana prepared the second phase of Nightmare Protocol. Admiral, ready to show them our war games? Proceed. The aliens received files showing human military exercises. Thousands of soldiers practicing complex maneuvers, ships and aircraft working together in perfect coordination. But the most disturbing files were the strategy games. Humans playing games where they commanded fleets of millions of ships across hundreds of star systems. Prime, the aide said urgently. These aren't just games. They're training simulations. Veltar watched human children playing a video game where they managed resources, built fleets, and conquered galaxies. The children made strategic decisions that would impress experienced galactic military commanders. How old are these humans? He asked. According to the data, between 8 and 12 years. Their children are better strategists than our military academy graduates. On the screen, a human child executed a perfect pincer movement to trap an enemy fleet. The tactical complexity was beyond anything in Council military doctrine. Prime, we may have made an error in judgment. Medical Corps Director Song Yura prepared Earth's hospitals for casualties. But her preparations were different from what the aliens expected. Human medical facilities could treat injuries the aliens had never seen. Make sure we have xenobiology teams ready, she told her staff. We might need to treat alien wounded. Director, why would we treat enemy casualties? Because that's what humans do. We fight to win, but we don't fight to be cruel. The alien monitoring station detected unusual energy patterns from Earth. Their sensors showed human military forces moving into positions that made no tactical sense. Prime, the humans are not deploying their forces defensively, reported the tactical officer. Then how are they deploying? They appear to be setting up ambushes. Prime, multiple ambush points throughout their solar system. Veltar studied the deployment patterns. They're not planning to defend their planet. They're planning to hunt our ships. Engineering Commander Bayek Jinwan activated Earth's hidden weapon systems. Across the solar system, asteroids revealed concealed missile platforms. Space stations that looked like simple research facilities opened to reveal massive gun batteries. All hidden platforms online, Admiral, he reported. The aliens have no idea we've been militarizing space for decades. The aliens finally understood what they were facing. These weren't peaceful primitives with simple technology. These were apex predators who had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of warfare. Prime, the aide said desperately. Their cultural files include something called the Art of War. It's 2,500 years old. Show me. The ancient human text appeared on their screens. Strategies for defeating superior forces, tactics for turning enemy strength into weakness, methods for winning battles before they began. They've been studying warfare as a science for over 2,000 years. Prime, Veltar read the human text with growing horror. Every principle of successful warfare was clearly explained. Deception, misdirection, psychological manipulation, strategic patience. Prime, we need to reconsider our approach. But it was too late. The alien fleet was already moving toward Earth, following their ancient, predictable battle plan. Admiral Huang received the final intelligence report. Sir, the alien fleet will arrive in 18 hours. They're using exactly the same formation they've used for 1,000 years. Perfect. Commander Lee, begin the final phase of Nightmare Protocol. Lee Hana sent the aliens one last file. It was a simple message from the children of Earth. To the Galactic Council, We know you think we're primitive. We know you think we'll surrender easily. We want you to understand something important. Humans don't surrender. We adapt, we learn, we overcome. You have superior technology, but we have superior thinking. Please reconsider your invasion. We don't want to hurt you, but we will defend ourselves. This is your last warning. The message was signed by thousands of human children, each adding their own tactical suggestions for how the aliens could retreat safely. Veltar stared at the message in disbelief. Even the human children were offering military advice to their enemies. Prime, what are your orders? Veltar looked at the approaching fleet positions. Everything was committed now. Too late to change course. Continue the invasion. We have superior numbers and technology. Yes, Prime. But deep in his alien heart, Veltar knew they had made a terrible mistake. They were about to fight a species that treated warfare as both science and art. The humans had tried to warn them. Now they would learn why no human army had ever truly been defeated. Earth was ready. Captain Lee Minho stood on the bridge of the Earth defense cruiser Indomitable. His dark eyes watched the massive alien ships approach through the viewscreen. 3 enormous vessels moved slowly toward Earth. Each ship was 5 times larger than anything humans had ever built. "Sir, they're sending a message," said Communications Officer Kim Soo-young. She was young but skilled. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "Put it through," Minho replied. He straightened his blue uniform and prepared himself for humanity's first contact with alien life. The view screen flickered. A tall, gray-skinned creature appeared. It had large black eyes and wore flowing purple robes. Its voice was deep and commanding. "Greetings, primitive beings of Earth. I am Council Prime Veltar of the Galactic Council. We have come to offer you membership in our great empire." Behind the captain, Ambassador Park Ji-woo stepped forward. She was Earth's top diplomat. Her calm voice filled the bridge as she spoke into the communication device. "Welcome to our solar system. I am Ambassador Park Ji-woo, speaking for all humanity. We are honored by your visit." Veltar's large eyes seemed to look down on them. "Your honor is noted but unnecessary. We have traveled far to bring you civilization. Over 10,000 species have joined our empire peacefully. We offer you the same opportunity." Military strategist Choi Tae-hyun whispered to Captain Minho, "Sir, their energy readings are incredible. Those ships could destroy our entire fleet." Minho nodded but kept his face calm. He had fought in many battles on Earth. This felt different, but fear was still fear. On the screen, Veltar continued speaking. "Your species shows promise despite your primitive technology. We have watched you for some time. Your chemical rockets and kinetic weapons are simple but functional. With proper guidance, you could serve the Empire well." Ambassador Park raised her hand politely. "May we ask what this membership would require?" "Simple terms," Veltar replied. "You will surrender all military vessels to our control. Your governments will dissolve and accept council rule. Your people will be relocated to suitable worlds where they can be properly educated. Earth's resources will be harvested for the greater good of the Empire." The bridge fell silent. Captain Minho felt his jaw tighten. Communications Officer Kim Soo-young looked shocked. Even Ambassador Park's diplomatic smile faded. "I see," Park said carefully. "And if we decline this generous offer?" Veltar's expression did not change. "Decline? No species has ever declined. Why would you choose conflict over prosperity? We have technology beyond your understanding. Our weapons can turn your cities to glass in moments." Captain Minho stepped forward. His boots clicked on the metal floor of the bridge. All eyes turned to him as he faced the alien leader. "Council Prime Veltar," Minho said in a clear, strong voice. "We appreciate your offer, but Earth issues you one warning. Humanity are deadly. We suggest you reconsider any hostile intentions." The alien's large eyes blinked slowly. Then Veltar began to laugh. It was a strange, musical sound that echoed through the communication system. "Deadly? You primitive creatures think you can threaten us?" Veltar's amusement was clear. "Your largest weapons are nuclear bombs. We have planet destroyers. Your fastest ships use chemical fuel. Ours bend space itself. You fight with metal bullets while we command pure energy." Other alien figures appeared behind Veltar. They were all laughing now. The sound filled the bridge of the human ship. "Look at their vessel," one alien said to another. "It is made of simple metal and ceramic. Our shields could stop their strongest weapons without effort." Veltar raised his hand and the laughter stopped. "Humans of Earth, we will give you 30 standard galactic cycles to consider our offer. That is approximately 30 of your days. Use this time wisely. Study our ships. Understand the futility of resistance. When we return, we expect your complete surrender. And if we refuse? Ambassador Park asked. Then we will implement pacification measures, Veltar replied coldly. Your military will be destroyed. Your leaders will be removed. Your people will be relocated by force. It will be unpleasant but necessary. Captain Minho stepped closer to the screen. Council Prime, you seem very confident in your technology. Of course. We have conquered 10,000 worlds. None have ever successfully resisted. None of those worlds were inhabited by humans, Minho said quietly. Veltar's expression showed mild interest. You believe your species is special somehow? Every species thinks they're special, Minho replied. But humans have spent their entire history learning one thing very well. And what is that? How to kill things that are bigger and stronger than we are. The alien leader paused for a moment. Then he laughed again. Primitive bravado. We have heard such words before. They mean nothing against superior technology and organization. Communications Officer Kim Soo-young looked at her captain with worry. She had never seen him look so serious. Strategist Choi Tae-hyun checked his data pad. The alien ships were indeed incredibly powerful. Their energy signatures were beyond anything in human military records. 30 days, humans, Veltar said. Use them to prepare for integration into our empire. We will establish a monitoring station at the edge of your system. Do not attempt to interfere with our operations. The communication ended. The view screen returned to showing the alien ships. They were beautiful in a terrible way. Their hulls seemed to shimmer with energy. Sir? Kim Soo-young said quietly. What are your orders? Captain Minho watched the alien vessels begin to move toward the outer solar system. His mind was already working on plans and possibilities. Send a message to Earth Command, he said. Tell them we have 30 days to prepare for war. Sir, did you see their technology readings? Choi Tae-hyun asked. They have weapons we can't even understand. Yes, I saw, Minho replied. But they didn't see ours. Ambassador Park looked confused. Captain, what do you mean? They scanned our ships. They know exactly what weapons we have. Minho turned to face his crew. His expression was grim but determined. They scanned our ships and saw metal guns and chemical rockets. They think that's all we have. He paused and looked back at the view screen. They never asked about our minds. The alien ships disappeared into the darkness of space. Earth had 30 days to prepare for the greatest challenge in human history. Captain Minho had given them fair warning. Now they would discover why humanity had never needed to conquer 10,000 worlds. They had spent all their time learning to survive on just one. General Kim Jae-won stood in the peace conference room aboard the human medical ship Mercy. Across from him sat Council Prime Veltar, his arm in a healing cast from the battle. The alien leader looked very different now. Gone was the arrogance and certainty. In its place was confusion and respect. Prime Veltar, General Kim began. Let's discuss the future. The alien leader studied the human general carefully. You could have destroyed us completely. Why didn't you? Because destruction was never our goal. Defense was. Dr. Lim So-hee entered the room carrying data pads filled with proposals for galactic restructuring. She was Earth's leading expert on xenopolitical science, though that had been theoretical until now. Prime Veltar, we've prepared a proposal for galactic peace, she said, settling into her chair. Peace? Your species just defeated the most powerful military force in the galaxy. Exactly why we're qualified to discuss peace, General Kim replied. Only those who understand war can truly appreciate peace. Diplomatic strategist Park Chang-ho activated the wall screens, showing detailed plans for a new form of galactic government. The current council system is based on domination, he explained. One species rules, others obey. This creates resentment and eventual rebellion. It has worked for 3,000 years, Veltar protested weakly. Has it? How many species have you conquered by force? How many rebellions have you crushed? How many worlds live in fear? Veltar was silent. The answer was thousands. Cultural liaison Han Minji brought in the former prisoners from the alien fleet. They had been housed in comfortable quarters and given full medical treatment. Most looked healthier than when they had arrived. Your crews want to speak with you, she told Veltar. The first alien officer approached nervously. Prime, the humans, they fed us. They gave us medical care. They showed us their cities and schools. And, Prime, their children learn about war, but they also learn about peace. They study how to prevent conflicts, not just how to win them. Another officer stepped forward. Prime, they have weapons that could destroy planets, but they choose not to build them. They have the power to conquer the galaxy, but they don't want to. Veltar looked at General Kim. Is this true? We have the knowledge to build planet destroyers, Kim admitted. But we decided long ago that such weapons serve no useful purpose. How can you not want to conquer? You have proven your military superiority. Dr. Lim answered this question, because conquest creates more problems than it solves. Look at your own empire. How much energy do you spend controlling rebellious worlds? How many resources go to maintaining order through fear? The Council maintains order and prosperity. The Council maintains control, Park Chang-ho corrected. True prosperity comes from cooperation, not domination. General Kim activated a holographic display showing Earth's history. Prime Veltar, humans spent thousands of years conquering each other. We learned that victory through force is always temporary. The display showed the rise and fall of human empires. Babylon, Rome, Britain, all mighty in their time, all eventually fallen. Every empire based on military power eventually collapses, Kim continued. But alliances based on mutual benefit can last forever. What are you proposing? Veltar asked. Dr. Lim presented the first proposal. Dissolution of the Galactic Council as a ruling body. Replacement with a galactic alliance where each species has equal representation. Impossible. Who would enforce order? We would, General Kim said simply. Humans will serve as peacekeepers for the galaxy. You want to rule us after all? No, we want to protect you. There's a difference. Cultural liaison Han Minji explained the concept. Human peacekeepers won't govern worlds. They'll defend them from threats. Each species rules itself, but no species attacks another. And if we refuse this alliance, then you're free to leave, Park Chang-ho said. But you won't receive human protection. The alien officers looked at each other nervously. Prime, what threats would we need protection from? General Kim's expression grew serious. Prime Veltar, your council has been very lucky for 3,000 years. You've encountered only peaceful species, but the galaxy is vast. There are things out there much worse than humans. What kind of things? Dr. Lim brought up stellar charts showing unexplored regions, species that never developed concepts like mercy or cooperation, machine intelligences that view all organic life as inferior, energy beings that consume entire star systems. These are myths and legends, are they? Your own records show mysterious disappearances of entire solar systems, ships that never return from certain regions of space. Veltar studied the charts with growing unease. You believe these threats are real? We know they are, General Kim said quietly. We've been monitoring deep space transmissions for decades. Something is moving in the outer galaxy, something hostile. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Prime, one of the alien officers whispered, if there are greater threats, we would need protection. But why would humans protect us after we tried to conquer them? Cultural liaison Han Minji smiled gently. Because that's what humans do. We protect others, even former enemies. General Kim presented the military alliance proposal. Human defense forces will establish bases throughout the galaxy. Any species under attack can request immediate assistance. What do you want in return? Cooperation, trade, cultural exchange. An end to forced conquest. Dr. Lim added the economic benefits. Free trade between all alliance members. Shared technology development. Combined resources for exploration and research. The Council worlds have resources worth billions of credits, Park Chang-ho noted. In a free alliance, everyone profits instead of just the ruling species. Veltar looked at his officers, then back at the humans. And if we agree to this alliance, you'll share your military knowledge? We'll teach defensive strategies to any species that wants to learn, General Kim confirmed. But we won't teach conquest tactics. Why the distinction? Because defense builds peace. Conquest builds resentment. Cultural liaison Han Minji brought in representatives from other alien species. They had been rescued from Council prison worlds and detention facilities. These species were conquered by the Council, she explained. They've agreed to join the new alliance. An insectoid creature stepped forward. The humans freed us from Council labor camps. They offer us our homeworlds back with full independence. A crystalline being added. They've provided medical treatment for injuries we suffered during pacification. They ask for nothing in return. Veltar realized the scope of what humans were offering, not just military protection but justice for past wrongs. You're dismantling our entire empire. We're freeing everyone you've enslaved, General Kim said firmly. That's not negotiable. And if the Council species refuse to give up their conquered worlds, then they'll face human military forces. The threat was clear but delivered without anger or hatred. Simply a statement of fact. Dr. Lim presented the final proposal. Prime Veltar, humanity offers the galaxy a choice. Join a free alliance of equals or continue the cycle of conquest and rebellion until everything collapses. And you believe this alliance will work? It has to work, because the alternative is worse than any conquest you can imagine. General Kim showed them the deep space monitoring data, signals from the outer galaxy that made even hardened military officers nervous. Something is coming, Prime Veltar. Something that makes our recent battle look like a training exercise. When it arrives, we'll need every species working together to survive. Veltar looked at the data, at his officers, at the freed alien species, and finally at the humans who had defeated his fleet and then offered him mercy. What guarantee do we have that humans won't become conquerors themselves? Cultural liaison Han Minji answered with simple honesty. You don't, you have to trust us. Trust? After we tried to conquer you? Trust, General Kim confirmed. Because trust is the foundation of any lasting peace. Veltar was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood and extended his hand in the human gesture of agreement. The Council accepts your alliance proposal. General Kim shook the alien's hand firmly. Welcome to the Galactic Alliance, Prime Veltar. 5 years later, Ambassador Park Jiwoo stood before the Galactic Assembly on the new capital world of New Geneva. Representatives from over 1,000 species filled the vast amphitheater. The galaxy has changed, she said. We've ended the age of conquest and begun the age of cooperation. Trade flourishes, science advances, and peace prevails. In the audience, former Council Prime Veltar nodded in agreement. He now served as the Alliance's Secretary of Justice, helping to rehabilitate species damaged by centuries of forced rule. But we must remember why this peace exists, Park continued. Not because war is impossible, but because we choose peace every day. On the outer rim of the galaxy, human defense stations monitored the deep space signals that grew stronger each year. Something was indeed coming, but when it arrived, it would find not a divided galaxy of conquered species, but a united alliance ready to defend their freedom. Earth had issued the galaxy one warning. Humanity are deadly, but they had also issued one promise. Humanity protects those who cannot protect themselves. The galaxy had learned to appreciate both.